Hello students, this is Inheritance and Variation part 11. So in today's session we are going to focus on the linkages, what kinds of linkages they are present, and the genes they are located on the chromosome. As you know, we have studied it. So these genes, when they are located on the chromosome and they express themselves together, when they are linked and they express themselves together, then that type of condition is known as linkage. So linkage is basically as the genes they are present on the chromosome and they have tendency to inherit together. So they have such that type of condition where they can't express themselves independently, then that type of process or phenomenon is known as linkage. So all the genes on a chromosome, they are said to be linked to one another and they belong to the same linkage group. So what is a linkage group? We'll understand it now. You know that human beings, they contain 46 chromosomes. So 2n number is equal to 46 chromosomes, right? So when you talk about haploid number, that is n number of chromosomes. So the number of chromosomes uh, for n, they will be 23 pairs. 23 chromosomes. Okay. So when n is equal to 23, then that is known as its linkage group. So in linkage groups, they can be broken by crossing over during the meiosis to form a new combination of the genes. We have studied the cell division part in your 11th standard, and in that we have discussed about meiosis part. In the meiosis, there is a recombination process where the two different kinds of chromosomes, they come together. Non-sister chromatids, they come together and they exchange their genetic material. That is known as recombination. That is known as recombination of the hereditary characters or recombination of the genetic material. So that part, it comes under that cell division portion. So we have studied it in that cell division part. So in the linkage, several genes, they are located on the same chromosomes, and the chromosomes, these, as we know, that they are the carriers of hereditary characters or carriers of heredity. So these genes, they have tendency to inherit together, and these are known as linked genes. The genes which have the ability or which have the tendency to express themselves or inherit together, then that type of genes, those genes, they are known as linked genes. So this tendency of two or more genes to inherit together is known as linkage. That type of process, that type of phenomenon is known as linkage. So linkage is physical association between genes on the same chromosome. Here we talk about the linkage. Now the genes which are the linked genes which we are talking about here right now, they are situated on the same chromosome. Okay, as we are talking about, or we are focusing on the situation where the genes they are situated, or what is their physical association. Okay, so we are focusing on that part. So linked genes, they don't show independent assortment. So we have studied the independent assortment, if you remember, in the dihybrid cross of Mendel's third law, right? That is independent assortment. In that we have studied that yellow round and green wrinkle type of seeds when the two plants, they were crossed, right? If you remember that, so the recombinations were plenty. The genotypic ratio was it was with no number of variations. So when you talk about the linked genes, take one example, say yellow round seed. So in this case, in the linked genes, the two genes, one gene for the color of seed, that is yellow, and another gene, that is shape of seed, that is round. These two genes, they will always inherit together as they are linked genes. So if the color of the seed is yellow, then that yellow colored seed will always carry the character of round shape. Okay, as the two genes, they are expressing themselves collectively, or they are having the tendency to inherit themselves together. Okay, and in the same case, if you are talking about a green seed, so that green seed, color of the seed is one gene which is situated on the same chromosome, and the next gene which is physically associated or it is situated on the same chromosome, that is a wrinkled type of seed. Again, the if the shape of the seed is wrinkled, then that wrinkled seed will always possess or carry green color. So here we are talking about the two types of genes which are collectively expressing themselves together. They are having the ability to inherit themselves together. That's why these two genes, they are linked, okay, linked with each other. So that's what we are talking about here. So when you talk about linkages or linked genes, there is no independent assortment. As in the assortment, independent assortment of Mendel, we have studied that when F1 was crossed with F1, so in the F2 generation, the number of combinations the Mendel found, right? Some yellow colored seeds, they were found to be wrinkled. Some green colored seeds, they were round. Okay, so that type of independent assortment is completely absent when you are talking about the linked type of genes here. So the linked genes, they don't show independent assortment. The linked genes, they give dihybrid ratio always, that is 3:1. And unlinked genes, they are located on different types of chromosomes. When you talk about unlinked genes, these are different kinds of genes. They are not linked together. They don't express themselves collectively. They don't have the tendency to inherit together. Okay, so these genes, they show independent assortment. So those genes which are present on different chromosomes, they those genes, they have ability to express themselves independently. Now we'll try to understand this diagram. Now see, these are the linked genes. Now this is homologous pair, a gene A and gene B. Now these arrow, they show that they are having the ability to they are having the ability to express themselves together. A will be expressed with always expressed with the B gene, okay, and small a, it will always get expressed with the B gene, okay. So that tendency is of linked genes. And if you observe the position of the genes, as we are here talking about the physical association, okay, so in the unlinked genes, the genes, they are present on the separate chromosome, and of course then they are having a long distance, while in the linked genes, they are situated near to each other, okay. So the distance also matters when you talk about linked genes and unlinked genes. So we'll take one example. If the genes, they are linked, okay, in case of this, if the genes, they are linked, then in the F1 we will get the gametes A, capital A, small a, capital B, small b, and the possible gametes are capital A, capital B, and small a, small b. There will not be another combinations, as I have explained it earlier briefly, that this A gene is having the tendency to inherit together, or it is linked with the capital B, okay. So whenever the capital A will get expressed, it will always get expressed with the capital B only. Capital A will not get expressed with the small b, or capital A will not get recombined with the, or will not get expressed with the small a. It will always be such type of, it will be always in this type of combination, capital A, small a, and capital B, small b. So these are the possible combinations. That is, there are no further combination possible, as the genes, they are linked together, okay. While in case of unlinked genes, now see, A and B. Now if the genes are unlinked, in the F1 hybrid we get capital A, small a, capital B, small b, the same gametes which we are getting in the F1. But the possible gametes which we are getting from this, if the genes are unlinked, so they are, as we are talking about independent assortment, so they will expressed in themselves independently. So in the possible gametes we will get A, B, capital A, capital B. Capital A can also get expressed with the small b, small a with the small b, and small a with the capital B. So as the genes are located away on separate chromosomes, they are situated, and different combinations are possible as they are not linked genes, so the independent assortment is possible. So that's all about the linked genes and the unlinked genes. In this slide, we will understand the difference between complete and incomplete linkages. What are these complete and incomplete linkages are? So in complete linkage, the linked genes which are closely located in the chromosomes, they are called as completely linked genes. Now in case of incomplete genes, the linked genes which are widely located, which are far apart from each other, then these type of locations which are present in the chromosomes, they are called as incompletely linked genes. In case of complete linkage, they don't have separate and remain, they don't separate and they remain always together and are always inherited together. And in case of incomplete linkage, these type of genes, they may separate, and at the time of crossing over they can get separated from each other. In case of complete linkage, the phenomenon of inheritance of completely linked genes is called complete linkage, uh, and in case of incomplete linkage, the phenomenon of inheritance of incompletely linked genes is called as incomplete linkage. The examples of complete linkages are red green color blindness, second hemophilia, myopia. We are going to study these diseases uh, in the next lecture. And in case of incomplete linkage, the examples are total color blindness, retinitis pigmentosa, and nephritis, etc. Now, the difference between complete and incomplete linkage, the difference, if it is asked, there are four points. Examples, you can consider it as your fourth point. So these type of points you can write in your examination if the question is asked for 2 marks. In this slide, the linked genes, there are few examples which are mentioned, and what is the significance of linked genes. So while talking about the examples, only one example is given in your textbook. Other examples, now this matter is very helpful if you are preparing for your NEET examination. Okay, so in Morgan's experiment, Drosophila, we are going to discuss that experiment very detailed. So the gray body and the normal wings. Now there are two characters which are expressed together, that is gray body and normal wings. Another is black body and vestigial wings. Okay, and these two are known as the linked genes, and their separation is not possible. That's why these genes, they are linked. The another example is rice color and its productivity. So on the basis of the color of rice, the farmers, they decide about the productivity of the rice. So the color of rice and the production of that grain, okay, production of the rice. So these two characters, they inherit together. These two genes, they are linked together, and they decide the productivity. Okay, so these are the linked genes when you're talking about the color of rice. Third is cotton. In case of cotton, again, the color of corolla of the flower of the cotton, it is used as the lint index. So lint index, it means how much amount of fiber will that cotton produce. Okay, so the amount of fibers which is getting produced from that cotton, it is determined by the color of the corolla of that flower. And if the flower of that cotton is of a particular color, then we can expect to have a good type of crop. So these are the indicators. Okay, so what is the significance of linked genes now? Significance of linked genes is they are used as markers of productivity. For example, the color of rice, it determines the production of the rice. The color of the petal or corolla of the flower of the cotton, it determines what and what kind of and in what amount that productivity of the fiber we are going to get. So that is the genes, they are linked together. Now linkage groups, as I have mentioned in the earlier slide, in human beings the N number is 23, linkage group is 23. In Drosophila the number is 4, N number is 4, so the linkage group is 4. In this part, we are going to talk about the linkages, the main steps which are involved or included in the linkage and the crossing over. As we have studied all this part in the meiosis in your 11th standard, so I'm not going to explain it in that way. You have studied it earlier, so we'll just have a look that what is synapses. It occurs in zygote stage of the prophase 1 of meiosis. The homologous chromosomes come close to each other in this synapses stage and they form pairing. Okay, so this pairing is called as synapses, and the pair of homologous chromosome is called bivalent. Now you can observe this diagram. Now these are the homologous chromosomes. Okay, non-sister chromatids, and these are the two colors of chromosomes. If you observe this one and another blue, violet and blue, these are the non-sister chromatids, while the two violet and 2 blue, these are the sister chromatids. So these type of pairing, when it occurs, then that is known as synapses. This type of pairing is bivalent. Okay, now this is bivalent. Tetrad formation, 1 2 3 4, that is called as tetrad formation. Crossing over, in this crossing over you can observe there is chiasmata formation when the genetic material is ready to exchange. Okay, so in the crossing over it occurs packeting stage of the prophase 1 of meiosis again, and the two non-sister chromatids, they cross each other at the point of break, and now at this point of break the chromatids, non-sister chromatids, now this violet color will get exchanged with this blue color, so that is the crossing over. So this cross here we are talking about. Okay, and this point, at this point this will break and there is exchange of segments leading to the recombination. Now you can observe in the next part there is recombination. Here is crossing over, the parts they get exchanged, so there is exchange or recombination of the genetic material which is present on the, or genes which are present on that chromosome side, and at the end when the recombinant chromatids they get formed, there the process it ends. So that part is known as terminalization. So basically in linkage and crossing over we talk about these four main steps: synapses, tetrad formation, crossing over, and terminalization. That's all for today's session. Thank you.